I'm Michelle Burgess with Narrative News, and you're watching a special news feature in collaboration with Oberlin Business Partnership. We're introducing you to a 4-part news series highlighting 5 successful local area companies that have adapted, shifted, and refocused to meet the challenges presented by the COVID-19 pandemic. In this first episode, Challenges of COVID and Opportunities, Shifts of Change, you'll learn various perspectives and insight from Willoway Nurseries in Avon, Jevon Terance Fashion Designer Boutique in Lorain, Agrinomix in Oberlin, Mermaid's Tale in Amherst, and Steel Magnolia in Oberlin. Thanks for watching.
The restaurant sector was hit very hard. The employee became less. The room to be able to hire became less during COVID. There was a lot of fear with the hands-on-hand contact, working in such a setting as a restaurant or the food truck, being in contact with so many people. So that put a big pause on what we were doing initially when we started. We looked at our business plan and what we were hoped to do versus what really happened due to COVID. One of the opportunities, which I call a blessing, that did come out of this was that through our operation of Steel Magnolia food truck restaurant became available for us to be able to lease. So we were able to get this great space located in Oberlin and begin our business as a restaurant and food truck and catering business.
On the people side of the business, we employ a lot of foreign workers on work visas. So with that program, we are required to provide housing to those employees, and it's group housing. As everyone knows, COVID is spread very, very quickly, very contagious. So we were definitely concerned about the effect COVID would probably have on our workforce. We did actually face that challenge head on, and we worked with our local health department to help us organize our housing in a better setup to keep groups of employees together, to keep them more safe, and to reduce the possibility of the spread of COVID.
Another positive that came out of the pandemic was people became aware of plants around them and the positive effects it had on them and their health and well-being. So this drove sales and opportunities for the future. I think that people found the awareness of plants, being able to work out in the yards, being outside, working with the family, and to say, smell the roses. There's a lot of positive effects of being outside and the health and well-being for the people.
You know, I wanted to do some of the projects that I've been wanting to do for my personal self, but having the talent of sewing in the community that I'm from, you know, with the mask, I had to make a choice to start making masks, make revenue instead of just making clothes and looking like I'm not in the know about what was going on at that time. So we pivoted into making masks here in the store. So we had to change everything here, doing fashion shows. During the time we had to do virtual fashion shows without a crowd. But even then was a little scary getting a small group of models together. In my mind, I was just looking at the end of the tunnel, the light at the tunnel, hoping that we could get back to fashion at some point. But it was really tough for me to change that, but it was really cool to do something different.
It felt like we were on a war footing. We were trying to understand the health orders, compliance issues, all the employee mandates, the issues related to our clients. Orders were canceling like crazy, and supply chain constrictions started up. And so it was a really, really difficult time. It felt like we were just constantly bringing leadership together to try to figure out what to do with the next challenge. And most of it was really, I would say, uncomfortable in that we hadn't been through it before. When you're in a leadership position, you kind of go along, I think, most of the time with 80% of it's in the bag and the other 20% of it you can deal with. But it felt like during those early COVID times, it was the opposite. 80% was new and 20% was old.
I'm a retail store, 100% disposable income. So my biggest challenge when we had to shut down in March was, how am I going to stay connected with my customers? It took me a couple days to wrap my head around that. And I actually talked to my husband and said, what if I bring product home and set it up on my kitchen table? Will you do a video? And that way I could stay connected with my customers. So I started to do that. Little did I know that everyone started calling them the kitchen table videos. And I started selling. People started texting me. We had a texting program in place that if they went to our site, they could web chat with us or text us directly. So that was an incredible opportunity that came from just doing the videos and just paying attention to what other people were doing.
For more information on Oberlin Business Partnership and Oberlin businesses, events, and experiencing Oberlin to its fullest, visit oberlin.org.